It's time for EdTech Mondays, brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.
They say what gets measured gets improved. In education, how we assess and certify learners is as important as what we teach them. In Nigeria, technology is steadily changing the game from online exams to digital certifications. But is it helping us or complicating things further? Hello and welcome to another episode of the EdTech Mondays Nigeria show, a platform that facilitates critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. I am Tinuade Oguntuyi, your host, and it's great to be here again. Today's episode focuses on assessment, evaluation, and certification, which are critical parts of Nigeria's education value chain. Remember, we started this broad theme on the role of technology in strengthening Nigeria's education value chain. And this episode, we will be exploring how technology is shaping the way learners are tested, graded, and recognized. Are digital certificates to be trusted? Are online assessments reliable? And are Nigeria's systems even resilient enough to handle these shifts? Our guests today bring diverse perspectives. We have a parent, an education expert, and a lecturer at one of Nigeria's online universities. We will indeed be having a robust conversation. Our first guest is a repeat guest who was here last week doing justice to the conversation on the role of technology for curriculum, development. So, without so much, ado, let's welcome back Omotola Francis-Akinlolu, who is a certified master trainer with TRCN and currently serves as the head of alumni development, creating opportunities and pathways for over 1,600 leaders, driving change in education nationwide. Welcome back, Omotola. It's great to have you here again.
It's good to be back.
Good. So our next guest is an educator with over 8 years of experience in education and a knack for all aspects of examinations. Our guest is result-driven with expertise in overseeing university examinations, ensuring academic integrity, and driving process optimization with cross-functional teams, and has a track record of delivering high-quality examinations while maintaining utmost confidentiality and security. He's currently the Senior Manager Examinations at Miva Open University. Join me as I welcome Christopher Okeke. Hello, Christopher. It's great to have you here.
Hi, Tinuade. I'm pleased to be here as well.
Good. And our next guest is a parent. It's not every time we have parents who want to tell it all. But this parent is, a parent that understands technology. This parent is an award-winning technology leader with over 14 years of experience and has driven impact in telecommunications, IP networks, intelligent systems, internet infrastructure, and a whole lot more. Join me as I welcome Tinuade Oguntuyi.
Thank you.
To the show this morning. Welcome, Tinuade. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
It was important that I brought a parent that understands the technology bit of things. So that when we are talking about this assessment thing and certification, she will speak, from a parent that knows the importance of what we are driving on the conversation today. So I'll jump right into the thick of things. online learning, online assessment, online certifications. Is Nigeria's education system and infrastructure resilient enough to support large-scale digital examinations and certifications without breakdown and breaches? I can see people are about to burst open. So let's start with Christopher. Christopher, over to you. Are our systems resilient enough to take what we are trying to push in this important linkage of our education value chain in Nigeria?
All right. Thanks so much, Chinelu. That's a very critical question. I think I'll start by breaking down the question into two parts. First, about the resilience, I think, yes, the systems are resilient enough to be able to handle the pressure on them. But the other part about breaches, I think breaches are part of processes. But the big question we should be asking ourselves is the end users who are supposed to be the people being engaged or being tested, are they conversant with how to be able to move through the use of these technologies? I'll give an instance because we are having this discussion because it's also important we put it in a more perspective manner, looking at the rural areas of the country. Just recently, WAEC has gone digital into conducting CBT assessments. The big question would be, what exactly would be the way in which the people in rural areas will be able to go through these assessments, knowing that these people are not so exposed to technology. But in all, if you're asking if Nigeria's infrastructure is able to withstand the pressure on assessments, I think yes. But the other question would be, are we also able to tell ourselves the truth? Because there might be a lot of compromise with what's happening. Currently, a couple of bodies run exams looking at post-UME. Most of them are run digitally. Looking at even the JAM body, they all run exams online. Most recently, some promotional exams from the civil service bodies are run online. So I think, yes, we're really ready for it. But the big question would be, are we also able to show that the breaches and a couple of technical hitches that might accompany this? So I think it's important we answer the question the way it is. As a country, we are. But that's if we're ready to tell ourselves the truth. Because even from my own university currently, Miva Open University, we run exams online. And you can't imagine the number of students we cater to. That's like a private individual. So how much more a country? I think we are ready. If we are ready to tell ourselves the truth about this, Chineke, that's where I'll stop for now.
Thank you. You've opened this nicely. So I'll move to the parents. Tinuade, are parents ready to accept online assessments, online examinations, online certifications? Because parents will say, I've sent you to school now. Why are you not going to write it? Why are you telling me to? Why does my child need to learn how to use computer? Go and, Are you parents ready to accept that this is how I am holding you at the jugular?
You already know why I'm laughing. Okay. Yes. I think largely parents are. Especially because me, I'm a technologist, so I might be biased in what I'm saying, but I'll try as much as possible to.
But as a parent that is a parent of children in other schools that relates with other parents.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I want to balance it. Mm-hmm. I think credibility is one of the things that make parents likely to question online exams and all of that. But sadly, recently I saw something where even for on-site exam, somebody or some people were caught impersonating for others. So which does not rule out completely that any system is perfect. So the concern about trust, the concern about, won't somebody else go? They want to create an avenue where the people that work well aren't rewarded well. Because somebody can just say, we are doing online, they will bring another person to just impersonate. So I think parents still likely have that withdrawal. Another thing is you cannot give what you don't have. A parent that is not well inclined, not knowledgeable or tech savvy or know the simple things about digital literacy will necessarily not want to agree completely to all of this. We are going online, we are going digital. But many times I would say thanks to COVID, because pre or post-COVID, we know now that a lot of things are possible. Maybe pre-COVID, people were still careful. Oh, I don't want to expose this. It got across so many things. Now you call Uber to get orders, right? Now you do a lot of things online because gradually the systems are moving to it. So parents that are not still open to it, honestly, we can't blame them. Do we do much of that education and awareness on why they should? Is our system also showing them that it's possible? Let's look at the example of what happened this last jam or the
And WAEC as well.
and the WAEC, where even it got to the state that a student actually hung herself. Do you understand? So parents begin to question it like, oh, if my child had done a paper test, maybe all of this wouldn't have happened. I say, whatever you're done is what will be graded and you get your papers. This is how we did it in years back. So I think that concern is actually what draws or make parents not to truly believe. But if it's to go by what is possible, what is doable, honestly, online is even creating more opportunities. That girl in Ekiti, in that rural community in Ondo, can actually still compete globally. And that is what I mean. Thank you.
A parent that gets it. And now, Omotola, you are with Teach for Nigeria. And you work with teachers that do not teach in the most favorable conditions. Are we ready for online assessment and certification away from our rural life as we know it? Because, urban, because we think about these things and we're thinking the urban, areas where you just have, all the service providers at your beck and call. What happens to a child who is to write WAEC and is up on the Mambila Plateau, far away in Jalingo?
All right. I'll start with this. Being a curricularist, we believe so much in sequence and stories. All right. So I would just go through a line of story on how we got here and why I think it's working. We started using the Nigerian university system, as a case study. We started with, the ones I remember from annexes off campus. You have Lasso in Anthony and the rest like that. Because we wanted to satellite campuses, thank you. Because we wanted to bring education closer.
Yeah.
Now technology has come to bridge the divide. If it is working, then it is working. It can only get better. Like, Christopher mentioned that, students can write exams. My 2 international certifications that I am using right now, I did not have to travel. So it is cheaper for me and it is credible because I graduated. So back to, underserved community, your questions. The modality itself is working. What we are improving on, or what we're asking the government and individuals to improve on, is the infrastructural, the infrastructures around it. So the concept itself is working, it's credible. As a matter of fact, I think it is actually much more credible, as it were, than on-site, because everyone, whether you're writing, on-site or you're writing online, both of them have, they have their glitches, they have their, downsides to it. However, what we can do, taking, WAEC for instance, WAEC actually understood that not all schools are ready for it. That's why they had, their pilot areas, their centers, their hubs like that children can go. And they also made it, hybrid in such a way that those that cannot have access, those that cannot access, those hubs, they can still write their own. But eventually we would get there. By the way, this rural area we're talking about, if we're truly going to bridge the gap, we will not continue to limit them because they do not have access, but we'll keep taking the access to them. So that, like, Tinuade said, eventually a child in Akure, a child in Plateau State can compete, globally. I mean, there's this case in 2023 about this girl in Anambra that became, an internet sensation that wrote jam and, she got her results and the rest and all the dramas. My point there is that because of internet, because of technology, we were able to see it. And of course, it opened another conversation around credibility and the rest. But that has actually made it to be very, open. So yes, it is working. It can work better, but the journey has actually begun.
The journey has begun. So we are agreeing that our systems are resilient enough. There is a lot to do, but we can do it. Okay, now going back to our original conversation on the role of technology in strengthening the education value chain. My question, which might be the only other question I'd ask here today, is what are the opportunities for collaboration between traditional examination bodies, universities, curricularists like Omotola, parents, innovators to strengthen our assessment, grading, and placement processes for education in Nigeria? That's my final question because I don't think we should do more than this. What are the opportunities that exist? Christopher, let's start with you.
All right. I will speak to this from two major angles, and thankfully, from the first one, training, and being able to also develop tools that could help cut down on examination malpractices and infractions. Let me talk about grading. For grading, currently, we have tools that are able to grade thousands of scripts. Once you're able to run the marking guides, once you just give that prompt, the only thing you probably need to do as a human would be to be able to review what has been graded. So, but the most important thing, like I keep saying, is that beyond the adoption of technology, there's this need for people to be trained on how to be able to use technology. But if you're not trained, then that means that there's that knowledge gap which would keep widening. There's going to be this chasm which would keep opening up. That's one. Secondly, when Tinola was speaking, I think one thing we also need to pay attention to is that just like Omotola also said, whether you're taking exams on site or online, they have their own glitches and people are beginning to exploit them, right? So one thing I think we need to do is to also strengthen ways to cut down on malpractice. And thankfully, we have a couple of proctoring tools that can help do that. My university currently, I'll need to blow the horn because this is where I currently work. We have these examples where we're able to track people and what they do behind. So we are monitoring your camera, we are monitoring your environment, we are monitoring your screen. So what we have currently is that we take snapshots of what you're doing and what your examination environment is. We're able to pick sounds, we're able to monitor what's happening on your screen. In fact, once you're locked to that exam interface, you won't be able to switch from that interface to any other one just because you can't even say you want to exit or open up that tab, say you want to Google. So just to summarize in essence, two things. There has to be training of people who are adopting this technology to be able to efficiently use them. And there are a couple of tools we can use to be able to cut down on malpractice. What happened lately, what happened with WAEC, even though I still have my skepticism about what WAEC is trying to do. Remember, they tried to undertake papers serialization where they had to serialize math and English, and that caused a couple of problems because the file code they had used to print the papers was printed on a wrong document. So imagine those kind of errors coming with technology. So this boils down to the fact that if we really need to use technology, there has to be proper training for people who are adopting technology, because the thing with technology is that whatever you feed into it is what you get. So if you feed in a wrong prompt into it, you're also getting a wrong prompt. So I think the need for collaboration is important, but the stakeholders involved would have to be properly trained. And this is why I keep saying training is essential in trying to foster a very seamless collaboration between all the parties involved in online assessments. I think I'll stop here, Chinyelu.
Thank you, Christopher. Omotola, what opportunities for collaboration exists within these linkages of our education value chain?
Collaboration, there is a lot to do actually, and technology actually enhances collaboration between the software, experts who are able to take, the content that the curriculum developers, and designers have, sent, and the questions they are able to, run it by their app so that, the student can see it, and, it can be done in such a way that each child can will see only, it can be customized to each child. Also, the data analysis part, and that is quite important, because one question at our mind is, how do we improve learning outcomes? So, with collaboration with data analysts, we're able to see the students' performance and gauge it vis-a-vis our objectives, and use it to prepare again for next year, so that the result is shared with teachers, with government stakeholders, who can look at the content of the marks. We look at the topics, we look at the subjects, and able to develop a robust curriculum to address it. So at the end of the day, year in and out, we would definitely get improved results, because the truth is that in the current world, in the outside world that we want our children to compete globally, this is what they need.
That's what they do, yeah.
So yeah, there are lots of opportunities to collaborate.
And now, as a parent, Tinuade, what collaborations will give you trust in the systems? What would parents see and believe this thing can work? And what my child was given in JAMB was what she got in JAMB. What she was given in WAEC is what she got in WAEC. What do you want to see?
Okay, thank you. I think likely as a parent, it will be that that transparency is really clear and glaring. And if there are errors, let's not hold back and start pushing blames here and there. Many a times, not taking ownership of when there are problems is what makes people even draw away from believing a system. Imagine if there is a shortfall and you come out and say, oh, we had issues with this, and this is the next plan we have to make sure this does not happen, and everybody that is affected, and you do this promptly. May the soul of the departed rest in peace for the JAM case. If this information had gone ahead as it happened, I know it might take time to really dissect all the bit and the bite, but we suspect there is an issue. Will we communicate on what we will do? That will give some form of respite. That child that I thought, oh, my parents will kill me because I had this poor result, will probably chill and say, oh, there is something that is being done. I can only be hopeful that something will come. Also, you mentioned opportunities, and I think it will not be good not to say this, because as a parent, I'm largely a technologist. Christopher, I completely agree with that resilience part, and I thought to mention it. While our systems might look resilient, may we define what resilience is, especially when it comes to infrastructure. It is when a system breaks, how soon it comes back up and running. Do we have that? So it's not a matter of not having the infrastructure. Do we have power? It's part of the infrastructure. It might not be the mast, the fiber, the tower that we see. It's power everywhere. I grew up as a child reading with lanterns. As a parent, I don't want that to happen. You want the child to do online classes, even to teach them digital literacy, and you employ a tutor, and while they are doing it, down NEPA. It's still part of it. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. As we try to solve one, we also have to bring every other. And good, we're talking about the value chain. How is our power system? It contributes to it. Because I work in an ISP environment, almost 90% of downtimes that you experience as users are caused by power. Let's leave the fiber cutter and all of the likes. So I'm saying that infrastructure should not just be seen as maybe that connectivity, or power is there, the devices are there. We want U-Lessons was doing something then where you don't necessarily need internet to be able to access their tools. We need more of that, so that a child is not logged in and in no time, no internet, and the connection has gone. It even distracts the child. So as a parent, we likely also want that collaboration to come from government, from innovators, everybody coming together to make this something that is worthwhile. Thank you.
Tinuade, a parent, has spoken, and this is where we will leave this conversation. Assessment is more than scores. It is about trust, it is about credibility, and about endless learning opportunities. As Nigeria embraces digital solutions, the real test is whether learners, parents, and employers believe the results. What do you think about this? Do you believe the results? Do you think that online assessments, online certifications are here to stay and are the way to go for Nigeria's education value chain. Would love to hear from you, our listeners. Send us an SMS or a WhatsApp message or call us on any of these numbers. 0703 165 0809 or 0706 402 0742. Thank you once again, our amazing guests who did so much justice to this conversation. And in case you know anyone who missed out on this episode because it was so charged, you need to listen again. If you listened today, you need to listen again, because I'm sure that when you listen again, you will find something that is pinching you that you want to talk about. Are you a parent? Are you a curricularist? Are you someone who is already in this system like Christopher? Would love to hear from you. In case you missed it, or you know someone who missed it, or you need to listen again, do not worry. Hurry now to Spotify, EdTech Mondays Nigeria to listen. You can check us on YouTube to watch and listen. Search for CC Hub Africa, EdTech Mondays Nigeria. Watch, listen, drop your comments, and join our very active Telegram and WhatsApp communities. We have a growing team of passionate Nigerians who want to use technology to change education in Nigeria. Who knows? You could be our guest on the next episode. And until I come your way, same time, same station, keep using technology to push the boundaries on education. It's bye for now.
It's time for EdTech Mondays, brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.